How's it going, everyone? This is K Collections. Not my usual content, but I do want to branch out of FGO sometimes. So, for those few who actually play SAO Rising Steel, the new Awakened Kirito is drawing in some, not negative attention, but more so not meeting expectations. His awakening is supposed to be a big moment in the SAO anime, therefore many players are a bit let down that this unit isn't OP. I'm going to break down his uses to see if he's actually good or trash. The new Recollection field system was introduced during his banner. It's a very helpful system, and Awakened Kirito has a new ability that increases the Recollection bar. If you are unfamiliar with this new mechanic, simply put, you increase that gauge through specific attacks. Depending on the element of the attacking character, in this case darkness, the gauge will go up, resulting in higher percentage of damage dealt by all your dark characters. Other elements will not benefit from the Recollection gauge unless you add a different elemental character mixed in. The more same element bars you have, the higher the damage increases, which means really having a mixed elemental team is not ideal to fully utilize the Recollection gauge. If you have, let's say, fire, water, light, and earth characters all mixed in, then you're not getting much as compared to an all-wind team. You guys can read it on your own, the game will explain it. This is a good mechanic, and many of us thought that the new Kirito was the first of a new breed of Recollection characters, sort of like how they introduce enhanced units. We were wrong, and the reason why people are saying Kirito is underwhelming is because most old units will have the same ability as him, being able to add towards the Recollection field, so for an iconic unit, he doesn't really add anything special. Now, not all units will add to the Recollection gauge from what I'm aware of. Enhanced units will not increase the bar, but again, a lot of older units will have the same ability as Awakened Kirito. This actually makes a lot of the old characters better, and I love it when games don't neglect their own units. I hate games that leaves you with obsolete characters, especially units you invested a lot into in the past. The Recollection field is also very good for Cathedral. Again, the problem is that Awakened Kirito isn't really special. His stats aren't anything to brag about as well, not saying it's bad though. Even his animation is reused aside from his third skill, but Awakened Kirito is not a huge pile of trash, and I'll explain why. His Incarnate is the main strength, being able to charge 3 Recollection bars, and if you use the follow-up switch attacks, he can charge 4 bars instantly, 5 bars if you use someone who can add towards the Recollection as well. Basically, Awakened Kirito generates enormous momentum right away for your whole entire team if you can use his Incarnate within cycle 2 or 3. That's an additional 15% extra damage for all your dark units early in the fight. He's an early stage unit, and from experimenting, he can be OP within the right team, in his case with fellow dark units, preferably other chargers. While playing, once you've reached full bar, that extra damage becomes very noticeable, especially when you crit. What they need to do is introduce a dark character that can increase charge percentage like ALO, Lifa, or Asuna. I don't believe we got one yet, but if they do make one, combined with Awakened Kirito will set you off with high damage output early fights. One problem you'll face is that Kirito will become any traditional charger once your Recollection field is maxed out, so he's seen as a team setup unit, in a way providing quick damage support for the battle. Another problem is that some boss fights requires a lot of break units, slowing down overall charge speed for his Incarnate. Again, we need a Dark Incarnate charge booster. Overall, he's not the OP unit we were all hoping for, but he's definitely not trash. He becomes an enormous asset within, again, the right team. Kirito is definitely not a beginner-friendly unit, however. First off, you're not going to have any weapon flexibility. You'll need a specialized dual-wielding weapon, and not everyone will get that specific one from the banner. There is a free 3-star swords through the event shop, but still less flexibility compared to units that uses, let's say, a traditional sword. And let's be honest, only Kirito is the one who dual wields, and unless they release like 10 consecutive Kirito dual-wielding units, don't expect a lot of weapons within his category. Beginners probably won't have a lot of diverse dark characters either. You need a good combination of chargers, breakers, and at least a good healer. So if you don't have a lot of dark units to use, I would suggest skipping this banner. If you do have a lot of units to work with, give him a shot. The momentum he gives early fight is very helpful and quite impressive if you use him correctly. Now, he's not very useful for ordinal battles because once you reach 100% Incarnate, you don't want to waste it on a single single target unit. You want to instead use an AoE to finish the match. But if you love this character, we all say waifu/husbando over gameplay, but in Rising Steel, gameplay does matter though. You have rankings, cathedral, and ordinal fights, and trust me, having good units makes life so much easier. But if you really like Awakened Kirito, go for it. Again, I do recommend him because he's very helpful early fight, but not everyone can fully utilize him, and I think Bandai will introduce similar characters with the same incarnate effect. One that can charge 3 Recollection bars like Kirito, but within a different element. Makes sense because Kirito is only helpful towards dark units, and they aren't going to introduce a new system just to have only dark teams benefiting. So I would actually wait and see which Recollection units they'll release in the future and pull for them if you have the right team. Example, if you have ALO Lifa, then Bandai will release a Recollection Wind character, and boom, you have a solid pairing. Also, if you want Kirito just because of his role in the anime, I'd say wait for the one where he uses Starburst Stream against Gabriel. Honestly, I think Awakened Kirito is just bait, and no doubt Bandai will release the Awakened God mode Starburst Kirito we saw at the final battle. Let's be honest, he'll come out. No way they won't make that into another unit, and maybe they'll make him OP this time. So, in conclusion, not the OP we wanted, can be OP within the right team because he gives you an early momentum and high damage output early fight, but not everyone can utilize him fully, so it's up to you really. Well, there you have it folks, Awakened Kirito. Did you get him? Did you skip him? Comment down below. Also, depending on how well this video does, I may make more analysis on SAO Rising Steel units or just create contents for this game in general, because overall, contents for this game have been pretty small, surprisingly, so I don't know. But if you like, subscribe. I will be posting my summons if you like to see salts. Have a great day, everyone. Till next time.